Let's see. Namaste. Namaste, everyone. I hope that you can hear me. Let's see. Yes, it's been a while since I was on YouTube, and who knows what is happening now technically, but I think it's working. I'm just checking with the sound. If I should raise the sound. I guess you will say something if you don't hear anything. So a warm welcome, everyone, to this Tuesday, the first Tuesday meditation for a long time. It's been a very long time since I shared meditations or anything on this channel. I've had a little time off. I was guided to go within and to follow the flow deeper inside. And I received the message that start sharing from that new experiences that have emerged, as there are so many people now awakening and moving into enlightenment, moving into high states of consciousness. We are coming into a field that is benefiting us all on this journey. So on these Tuesday evenings, we will do it a little bit different. Some of you have followed me for years. I used to, every Tuesday, it used to be 8 o'clock, but I moved it to 7 p.m. in Sweden. But every Tuesday evening, I would always do guided meditation and meditation through the eyes. And it's been going for I think 11 years, something like that. When at the beginning of the year, I felt it is time for a break to see what else wants to come up from the depth of the beingness. And especially now, since so much is happening in the world, it looks like a lot of strange things are happening. But at the same time, as these peculiar situations is happening in the world, we're also expanding in our consciousness. We are seeing truth inside ourselves, and we go collectively into deeper state of consciousness. And this is what I want to invite you to join me on Tuesdays. So the first few minutes, maybe 15, 20 minutes, I'll share something, whatever seems to want to come out. And then we'll go into a oneness teaching. And I'll explain a little bit more about that. See, the oneness teachings that we are going to explore, these are contemplative teachings, meaning it is not something that you learn and you let the intellect and the mind chew at it. It's not that kind of a teaching. It is a teaching that you digest. And I used to share these teachings before also, so some of you might be familiar with it. I have several books of oneness teachings, and we will do what we did before. I enjoyed that. When the time comes in the program, I have different books. Today we have a Sri Amma's teachings. So I will just pull up a page and just see which one is being chosen for us here today. After that, after we go into the oneness teaching a little bit, we'll be going deeper into meditation and going into energy transfers with the sacred sounds. So that's what's a little different now than before. And I want to share a little bit about that with you today, and how it can be transformative in your own journey as well to access these sacred sounds. So the energy transmissions that you will receive will be through sacred mantras. And for those that are new to that, sacred mantras have been sung or listened to or recited for thousands of years. They're ancient, and they belong to the ancient technology of consciousness, meaning over these thousands of years, they have been shared from one generation to another, not necessarily how it's being spelled, but the sound of it. And in that way, they are transferring states of consciousness. And it's from the Sanskrit language, which is one of the oldest languages on the planet. And it has a way to express the divine consciousness. I think they have about 3,000 words for what we call God or divine. What else do we have? Do we have more names for it? Maybe we can muster up one or two different descriptions, but that's about it in the English language. But the Sanskrit is like a diamond with all these different facets, with the understanding that a diamond is a one, but it has different facets. And so each mantra is a different facet of that one diamond, calling upon that aspect of the divine. And as we listen to the sacred mantras, or we sing along, or there are different ways I'll be sharing how you can take part of it. There are different effects on the body, mind, consciousness. So we are basically activating that consciousness within our body as we listen to it or become one with it, however we are comfortable with it. If you're not comfortable singing, some people are not comfortable singing. You don't have to sing. And some people just want to say it, like you say some words. That is also fine. Or some people just want to listen. That is how I started my journey. I came into, this was in the beginning of, I think it was 1983 or 84, around there. I was guided by someone to go into a ashram that had a guru, a Siddha guru, and they were doing chanting there. And I had never experienced that. And I didn't know what it was. I was just going to check it out and go real quick. I wasn't really sure about this. But as I came into the hall and people were sitting on the floor, and the guru that was in charge over this ashram, the Siddha guru, he had just left his body. So he was not there. He had, gone on to the other world. But they had a picture of him on a chair. So everyone is sitting in front of this picture. And I go, that's peculiar. That's the first time I ever saw such a thing. But they were playing and they were singing these mantras back and forth, singing a mantra. And I came into this nice feeling of something is happening in my heart. So even though I thought it's peculiar, the whole thing, the whole setup, I fell in love with these chanting, the mantras in the beginning, because they had this every Thursday evening, I think. In Santa Monica, I lived in Hollywood, California for many years, and I just found this place by somebody introduced it. So it came to change my life at that point. I started looking forward to just going into this magical space where people sitting singing, and I didn't know what mantras were. It was just sounds coming out. I was just listening. But after some time, I started like sounding with them, So I just, as they were singing, I just thought, because it was kind of dark, so they wouldn't look at me and think I'm weird. I just tried to belong there, I liked it because I could come and go as I wanted. And just sing along with these sounds. Om Namah Shivaya. All these wonderful mantras. So after some time, I was also initiated to this Siddha Yoga meditation through the pineal gland and through a peacock feather. And it was a fantastic experience of meditation. So every morning I would sit and meditate 45 minutes with a mantra. So as you breathe in, the mantra, breathing out. And after some time, it was really a nice expansion of consciousness. I loved it. But I felt the rest of the time is just filled with complete chaos in my life. I mean, I enjoy this 40 minutes of meditation, but the rest of the hours is just miserable for me. So I said, I'm looking for something else, living in Los Angeles where they have everything. I thought there must be some other meditation. There must be some meditation for like meditation in action. I want to live in this state of consciousness that I experience when I do the chanting, the mantras, when I do the meditations in the mornings. But I can't live life like this. My life was pretty miserable. And for no particular reason, I looked back at my life. It's like, why was I so miserable? But it was some existential suffering that's been driving me since I was very small, of just wanting to find God. It was such a drive from within. There must be a meaning, a purpose. Well, what am I here for? I had no particular problems in my family upbringing. It was just a very strong drive to find the truth, the God. This is what my thing was. And I thought finally here, I found this presence, but I wasn't happy because it's not there all the time. I wanted to be in action with me. So I was looking for such a meditation in the bookstores, in the papers, everywhere. Is there such a thing called meditation in action? No. And I thought, all this thing I've been a seeker all my life since I was 3 years old, going to Sunday school. What is this? Maybe I should just be like the rest of my family, scientific, academic. I was supposed to be a chemist. What am I doing here in Hollywood? Chanting mantras? Something is wrong here. So I fell asleep on the sofa one afternoon, and I had decided I'm just going to, drop this whole meditation thing. It's just leading me nowhere. I can't be sincerely doing this anymore. So I fell asleep on the sofa. And then I had some kind of mystical experience, even though it was real to me. I walked up, I had to go to the bathroom, and I walked into the bathroom, I opened the door, and in here, as I opened the door, there's a huge sphere. And this sphere is not like I can explain it in any other way than it's a sphere of sound. Okay, it was what I knew. Seeing it is the presence of God, presence of divine. I fell to my knees like this. I started shaking, and this sphere of sound started talking. And it said, "Don't ever stop seeking me." That's what it said. It was like a command. And I had just decided not to do, being a seeker all my life. It's like, to drop this. Well, that changed everything for me. I startled, came up from the sofa. I said, okay. I'll continue. So I continued on the path, seeking. I continued with the Siddha Yoga, repeating the mantra for about 20 years when I finally had a breakthrough in my city where I live now, Helsingborg. And I've shared that experience many times. I have written books about it and everything. It completely changed my life. Sometimes you have to wait some time. I had to wait some time, my friends. From being small child of praying to God and Christ and Jesus, and I always received help, but it was like a one-way communication. And that's what, when I came to Los Angeles, I started more the New Age and this Siddha Yoga, which I really loved. But it prepared me very much for what I was to experience 2002 in Helsingborg, where I received that presence again. The voice came from that same source. And when you experience this kind of sacred sound, it is like it's coming from outside the universe at the same time as it's coming from the very depth of your own being at the same time. So it's like a paradox. And this experience catapults you into a shift you pay attention with every cell in your body. Your whole being just knows that this is what I'm looking for. And this time, 2002, in February, in Helsingborg, it came with a teaching, and a teaching that still holds today. And those of you who have taken courses with me knows very well what that teaching is. But there are so many teachings, but it came first time from inside, from that voice. And my seeking stopped then and there. And instead, a journey began. This presence, this sacred sound, as it gave a teaching, it gave direct, directions how to proceed in life. It was obviously aware of my great suffering. I was not content, let me tell you. 2002 was probably around that time, was like my worst time ever in life. I had painted myself into a corner, it seemed. Like there's no escape routes what at all here. So I wasn't even going to go to this lecture. I was just kind of, oh, why don't you go here? All right, I'll go quick and go and then leave. But that's where it happened. So we never know when we're going to have a breakthrough. But there are certain milestones that happens in our lives that has a great meaning for us, that puts us on a direction. Now, I have much to share from my life experiences. And from then, that day on, that journey took me into, well, I've met many of you on this journey through the oneness journey of awakening and taking us into enlightenment. And this is the teachers of the oneness teachings that I will be sharing. Sri Amma and Sri Bhagwan, who has been my teachers for the past 22 years. And what I love about this path is that it sets you into your own journey between your heart and your brain. So there is something called the presence of grace. So for all of these teachings that we'll be sharing or receiving, it is just like that first time it came to me. It was to be digested, and it is built on our own experience. If I hadn't had all those experiences of seeking, of being in intense suffering, both physical, psychologically, and existential, if that hadn't been in my awareness of seeking help, seeking answer for this, I would never have found this. So once you establish a connection and anchor into something inside you that is sacred, then that journey begins. We can call this an awakening of your antaryaman. Antaryaman is a Sanskrit word that means the indweller, the one that dwells within. So obviously it is something in here. But also, as I had experienced 20 years earlier to this, there's something called a Sri Murti. A Sri Murti is an image that has placed a consciousness in it through a special process called ahavanam. I think I pronounced it right. Maybe I didn't. But it's when a consciousness is being placed inside a picture of an enlightened, God-realized master, or a image, a picture that has been given that process from a being's consciousness, high consciousness. So it works sort of like a mirror to our own sacred presence inside. So we have something in here. And when we look at the Sri Murti, and in here in my studio is also my sacred chamber, I have 3 big Sri Murtis of a great compassionate light that was photographed in India at the Oneness University that is governed or that was founded by the avatars Sri Amma and Sri Bhagwan. And their role as avatars, like I have met Sri Bhagwan many times for darshans, and he says, tell people we are not gurus. Okay, we are avatars. Avatars has a gift to give humanity. There are many different kinds of avatars, avatars of music, of science, of psychology, and so forth. Sri Amma and Sri Bhagwan are avatars for enlightenment. So they are giving an energy transfer from within so that we can awaken to our own presence in our own way. How we relate to this is personal. So it's not about creating some kind of religion or a path where you all have to do this and this and this. See, that's what I was looking for that all my life. Like, I want freedom. I want this liberation that I read so many books about enlightened masters, what do you call them, sadhus, these Indian masters who live in caves and they're enlightened and they throw some rock at somebody and they wake up and they get enlightened. And I read so many stories of this, and I love being in the Siddha Yoga and taking part of that. But when I came into the oneness path, a whole new journey took off where I started, like, was the last piece of the puzzle for me. So this is what I with great passion want to share with you on this Tuesday evenings. And I will use the tool of the sacred sounds, the sacred mantras that has been with me for a very long time. even as a small child, I used to sing the Christian songs, which is wonderful also. You can do it exactly how you want to do it. It's not about belonging to this or that religion or philosophical master or teacher or whatever. It is to find your way. And this is a path where I found I can keep growing and learning and the passion to share, because I didn't have that before. I thought it was more like steps, or like you read a book and then you want to come to the end to see what's the end result. But it's not like that. We are eternal beings. And this almost a year I've been off the air, like speaking. It's given me so many profound experiences of this. I want to share a little bit of it every week. So I'm not going to take up too much time now. I see the time is running. I just wanted to give a little background today of where I come from and where I want to journey with whoever wants to journey on the Tuesday evenings with me. So we will be going into this process. And you should know that whatever I share here with you, it comes from my own experience. So it's experience-based. It's not something that I have heard or read somebody said and then I just repeat it. It's not like that. I can't do it like that. It needs to be something that is my truth. And as I keep growing, we keep growing and learning together. Now, these oneness teachings, I found them so helpful because you digest them and they will give you different experiences every time. So every morning I have this process that I do. I do certain meditation and sacred mantras, and then I always get a teaching every morning. And I believe that these teachings, or there is a oneness teaching shared every day. So you can take that teaching also and ask for an experience of it. And when you do, you always hook it into your own life. It needs to be like something you see in your own life. It's no use trying to memorize it and go, yeah, that's that's how it is. No, it should mean something to you. It should be placed into practical use for you when you take a oneness teaching. So I was thinking, now we can go into we go into meditation process. I will share, there's so much more I want to share, but I also think that it's a time for share and it's a time to just go within. So we'll see. Oh, next week I will not have a Tuesday evening meditation, because next week there is a Gift of Ananda 3-hour course from my teachers in India. And I'm an organizer and translator for that course. It's for those who live in Europe and Russia. So, and it's at the same time. So if there is such a course, then we will not have the Tuesday evening. So you're aware of that. The 10th of September, there will be no Tuesday evening program. But I'll be back the week after that, and after that. As long as there is Tuesdays, I will be there. All right, so let's move inside now. You can close your eyes and just relax your body. Allow your body to relax. Feel the feet touching the floor and see the sacredness of your feet. How the soles of your feet is representing your whole body, all the different systems. And it's in touch with the planet, the earth that we live on, that sustains us, gives us shelter and food. Feel gratitude for the planet Earth that we live on. We are having this experience right now. Give gratitude to Mother Earth. And relax your feet. Allow your legs to relax. Allow your hips, your pelvic region, your buttocks to relax. Your back and spine, relax. Your belly, your whole stomach, relax. Your chest and shoulders, relax. Your arms and hands and fingers, relax. Your neck and throat, relax. Your whole head and your face, relax. Relax. Allow your breathing to move in and out by itself. You don't have to change anything about your body or your breathing. Just allow everything to be as relaxed as you can, and allow the breath to move in and out by itself. What you're doing right now is an ancient meditation called Vipasana. And this is a meditation you can do every day in the morning or whenever you feel like you want to get more energy. A Vipasana is the best thing you can do to go into that field of energy that is your natural state of beingness. If you ever feel tired or you feel stressed or something is not right with you, why don't you just sit down wherever you can and relax your body? Go into a Vipasana. Even for 3 minutes, you close your eyes and just be aware of the body. You don't try to change anything. When you do that, you can easily see your inner world, your thoughts, feelings, sensations, whatever is happening inside you. Maybe your consciousness just wants you to pay attention, to be aware of what's going on. And as you do this for a few minutes, you will feel more relaxed, at ease, and more energized. So this is a gift for us to experience. There is a guided Vipasana meditation on my website that is 21 minutes with music if you want to do a longer session sometime, and it's free. So you just go in there and download it for free. You can just do that also silently or with some music. You just follow very easy your breathing. Now, you can also put a focus in your heart. In your heart region is where we most easily get connected to the great compassionate light, the higher consciousness that lives within us, our personal connection to the divine. However we relate to it, whatever we call it, it is a sacred platform that lives and dwells within each and every one of us. And it's personal, how we relate to it. If you want, you can place your hands over your heart, if that is easier for you to be focused there. We're going to ask for a blessing and an energy transmission through a sacred mantra to awaken that presence inside you. If it's already awakened, then to increase that presence inside you, so that at any time you can just close your eyes and drop into your heart to experience this part of yourself that is your natural state of beingness, your essence. Every human being, every being has this presence. It belongs to us. We are made to experience it. It has nothing to do with any religion or non-religion, even though it can be inside a religion. There's nothing wrong with that. But it belongs to you as a human being. Just feel the sacredness of this presence inside your heart and receive this transmission through this sacred mantra. Om Sachidananda Parabrahma Purushottama Paramatma Shri Bhagavati Samhita Shri Bhagavate Namaha. Om Sachidananda Parabrahma Purushottama Paramatma Shri Bhagavati Samhita Shri Bhagavate Namaha. Om Sachidananda Parabrahma Purushottama Paramatma Shri Bhagavati Samhita Shri Bhagavate Namaha. Om Sachidananda Parabrahma Purushottama Paramatma Shri Bhagavati Samhita Shri Bhagavate Namaha. Shri Bhagavati Samhita Shri Bhagavate Namaha. Shri Bhagavati Sameta Shri Bhagavate Namaha. Shri Bhagavate Namaha. Shri Bhagavate Namaha. Om. Amanagrahitusmi Bhagwananagrahitusmi. Shri Paramjyoti Amma Bhagwananagrahitusmi. O great compassionate light, thank you for the blessings, for awakening the Antaryaman. And in your own way, give gratitude to the presence inside you, however you relate to it, however you experience this. And you can keep your eyes closed. And now when we have the sacred presence, our Antaryaman, the indweller is with us, we're going to go into a oneness teaching. It's easier to digest it when the divine in us is with us, awake and aware. So, as you listen to this teaching, we're just going to pull up a page in the book random, and we'll see which one is picked for us today. As you hear it, I will read it in both English and my native language, which is Swedish. So you will hear it in both languages. As you hear it, just allow it to go inside you. Let it be digested and place it somewhere in your life where it will have a help for you in your journey. The need of a human being is to feel needed. The need of a human the need of a human's I read it in Swedish and it will make sense in English soon. Människans behov är att känna sig behövd. The human being's need is to feel needed. The human being's need is to feel needed. Så människans behov är att känna sig behövd. So, as you place that oneness teaching inside you, see where it goes into your life. Is there a need to feel needed? This oneness teachings is just to help us to experience life from a higher consciousness of being aware what it's like to be human being, living with the divine consciousness, with an awareness of higher consciousness, and to see the needs we have. And one of the needs for a human being is to feel needed. And as we start seeing this practically in our own lives, when you become the witness, which will happen as you go on this journey, you start witnessing everything that is happening to you. That which is the mind with the thoughts no longer has a clutch in your consciousness. It's not stuck with you. It's not dictating how you experience life. You will start seeing the mechanism and the workings of being a biological human being and how we are working together as beings here on this planet, and to see that one of the needs we have is to feel needed. Once we see the wisdom and intelligence of that, we can make changes if we need some practical changes in our lives. To pay attention to the need of another can be the greatest gift we can give to someone. As you relate to that person, you will sense, what does that person need from me? What is that person looking for? There is a need there. You can feel it. It's not something of the mind. It is an experience you have from within. And as you have a relationship to the divine presence in your heart, you can express the needs that you have. This is the beautiful thing with having a Sri Murti, and which is a picture, an image of a higher consciousness, the divine consciousness. You can simply state, what is it you need? And I can share that from 22 years of doing this. That is how you get things done. You know you get things done in the best possible way when you express your need to that part of you, which is your divine. Of course, you can do it just now also, closing your eyes, go within your heart, express your need. What is it you need? And know that it's a need of being human. We have needs. And as you start experiencing that this presence inside your heart is your closest relationship you will ever have, and that all the other relationships in your life is based out of this relationship. Everything that is to happen in your life comes from this relationship. Once you learn the workings of it, it belongs to higher laws of consciousness. Its very essence is love. It's not the kind of love that is based on an emotion that comes and goes for different reasons. This is a state of consciousness. It is an unconditional love. It has no expectations. It does not push itself on you. You have to seek it. You have to say, I want this. I'm looking for this, my personal experience. If you have that passion in you, then your personal connection to your sacred presence inside will reveal itself in a way that is natural for you to experience it. So the next blessing and energy transmission will do is that you can ask this presence inside your heart for any need or anything that you are wishing for to have help with, or you're longing for, or you have a need for. You speak to your personal connection to your divine. You might not call it divine, you might call it something else. It is personal how you relate to it and what you call it. But one thing is for sure, and that is, it is there. It is the very essence of our being. But we have the freedom to relate to it in our own personal way. Start exploring this now. So with this blessing, feel free to be with your divine. Tvameva mama sharanam, Tvameva mama sharanam, Tvameva mama sharanam, Ama Tvam Vina Anvana Jani.
Bhagavan Tvam Vina Anvana Jani Tvameva Mama Sharanam Tvameva Mama Sharanam Tvameva Mama Sharanam Sachidananda Parabrahma Purushottama Sachidananda Parabrahma Purushottama Paramatma Shri Amma Bhagavan Paramatma Shri Amma Bhagavan Tvameva Mama Sharanam Tvameva Mama Sharanam Tvameva Mama Sharanam Sachidananda Parabrahma Purushottama Sachidananda Parabrahma Purushottama Paramatma Shri Amma Bhagavan Paramatma Shri Amma Bhagavan Tvameva Mama Sharanam Tvameva Mama Sharanam Tvameva Mama Sharanam Mama Sharanam Mama Sharanam Shri Param Jyoti Anagrahitusmi Shri Param Jyoti Anagrahitusmi Great compassionate light, bless the needs we have from our heart. Hear our prayers. Hear our heart's voice speaking to you. Thank you so much. Thank you. And give gratitude. Thank in your own way. As we give gratitude, as we say thank you, we are also letting go of that prayer or that talking with our divine. There is an art in letting go. So, after you talk to the divine, as you say thank you, that is a way of saying, I give it to you now. Help me. Thank you for helping me. And you feel happy. So you don't walk away from a prayer experience or a sacred experience with your divine feeling like, well, I wonder how the divine is going to fix this for me now. No, you don't even have those. You don't entertain that if that is coming, because you fully give it into your divine simply because you know that's where the higher intelligent solution will come from. So what we have as human beings, we have something called the mind. And the mind is like a wall between us as a unique individual incarnation. In Sanskrit, it's called Nara, so our unique individual. We are connected to this oneness state, this field of oneness. And we are connected in our own personal way. So it's not some kind of strange field that is impersonal to you. No, it is highly personal, and you relate to it in your own way. So we are each two ends of the same string. So you can imagine that you are like a string, where on one end you are this unique being. Nobody's like you. Nobody's ever been like you or ever will be. You're unique in this time and space. But on the other side of you, of this string of who you are is the divine. It's a portal of light. It's a portal to the divine. Now, in between this little string of who you are, in this analogy, there is a shield, or there is a wall. There's a wall of the mind. And it's deflecting the truth. It's making you think. This wall is giving you thoughts and programs and patterns of consciousness that you've been conditioned with. So as you look in towards the divine, it's all distorted through this wall of the mind. That's why you don't clearly experience the divine unless you start seeking it. You just look outside and you see in the world lots of people. They're all separate from me. They're all different. And they all have their own little wall of the mind. And it's a kind of chaotic place here. Well, that's not true. What is here is something completely different. And this is the time where people are awakening into this intelligence. And it's something we are born with. It's just a matter of going through the wall. So this is a divine intervention. So from your divine, which is placed very easily in your heart, you can experience in your heart, there is an energy that comes called grace. Grace is an energy field that is beyond the mind's capacity to grasp. The mind don't know it. The mind is more like some artificial intelligence. It just does its thing. It's like a program. It's very handy. We're not to get rid of it, but it's not here to run our consciousness. So the awakening that we are experiencing now, it is this presence moving through the wall of the mind into lighting up into who you are, putting light on who you are. So you're being enlightened. It's a journey, it's a process. This is just a very simple explanation, but you start looking for this. You start looking to see through the illusion of the mind. And this is the journey of awakening, enlightenment. Then we all collectively go into oneness, which is our natural state. We're already there. It's not like some weird place. You already know it. So it's a neurobiological shift of the brain, and that's the gift of the presence of grace given. So however you connect to that presence, there are many different ways. But our time is not over yet. We're going to go into another transmission of this grace, and we're going to meditate some more together. Just keep your eyes closed. And see, is there something that you need help with? Maybe it's a problem you have, or some hindrance, a challenge in your life. This is what we need our divine for, our personal connection. Once you connect with that presence inside, see, that presence is connected to everyone else's divine presence. So you have the solution to all your problems within. So you go into the heart, and there in your heart there is a fire. It's a fire of transformation. Just like you throw something into the fire, it transforms. Whatever you throw in there, the fire transforms it. So you can go into your heart, and whatever challenge you have right now, you can offer it into the sacred fire in your heart. Whatever you give in goes to the divine. So the divine will take care of it. You let go of it. So this is a special mantra for that transformation to take place. All you have to do is be willing, be aware of the problem, You have to see the truth of it and what it means for you in your life, and then you just give it into, you can have it as a symbol, you can write it down on an imaginary piece of paper and throw it into the fire, or you can just with your feeling, just I give it into this fire of my divine. You let it go. However you do it in your way. Shiva Nama Om, Om Namah Shivaya. Shiva Nama Om, Om Namah Shivaya. Alak alak boom, alak boom, alak Shiva Shambho. Alak boom, alak boom, alak Shiva Shambho. Kailash ke Raja Shiva bole, bom 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 bolanat. Kailash ke Raja Shiva bole, bom 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 bolanat. Shiva Nama Om, Om Namah Shivaya. Shiva Nama Om, Om Namah Shivaya. Alak boom, alak boom, alak Shiva Shambho. Alak boom, alak boom, alak Shiva Shambho. Kailash ke Raja Shiva bole, bom 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 bolanat. Kailash ke Raja Shiva bole, bom 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 bolanat. Shiva Nama Om, Om Namah Shivaya. Shiva Nama Om, Om Namah Shivaya. Alak boom, alak boom, alak Shiva Shambho. Alak boom, alak boom, alak Shiva Shambho. Kailash ke Raja Shiva bole, bom 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 bolanat. Kailash ke Raja Shiva bole, bom 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 bolanat. Shiva Nama Om, Om Namah Shivaya. Shiva Nama Om, Om Namah Shivaya. Shiva Nama Om, Om Namah Shivaya. Om. Shri Paramjyoti Anagrahitusmi. Shri Paramjyoti Anagrahitusmi. Great compassionate light. Bless us all in the power of transformation. Thank you. And in your own way, give gratitude for that power of transformation that is within you. And just sit for a while and feel what is happening in your body right now. Just connect with your physical body. Be aware of your body and your breathing. And see that presence in your heart. And allow it to move out in every part of your body. Allow it to move up and filling your whole brain with that light, like a golden orb. It's just moving out with a sacred presence of grace, touching every part of your body. See how you have a personal connection to this presence, how it is protecting you, how it is healing you, how it is always there for you, looking after you, loving you. Tap into that presence of peace and allow yourself to be swallowed into this golden orb of unconditional love and peace. It's a peace that is not the opposite of noise. It is a state of consciousness. It is a gift. It is something that is given as we connect to this sacred presence. Allow yourself to just move into it or lean into it. Like you go into a nice warm bathtub with just the right temperature. So wonderful. That's what it's like to dip into the presence and to have a morning bath. Diving into the presence every morning can be the best habit you could ever make. That which we call prayer is simply a wish from the heart, and that wish is heard from your divine as you say thank you. Your divine start working on it. So whatever prayer you have before we end this session today, you can ask for anything. And just remember to have gratitude in your heart and see it as if it's already given you. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Ananagrahitusmi Bhagwananagrahitusmi Shri Param Jyoti Bhagwananagrahitusmi Anagrahitusmi. Great compassionate light. Thank you for always listening to us. Thank you for hearing our prayers. Thank you for being in our lives. Thank you so much. And with you, in your own way, you give gratitude to your divine.
And when you feel complete in your gratitude, you take a deep breath and you open your eyes in your own time. So I want to thank you with all my heart for this first session of sharing the oneness teaching, sharing the sacred mantras, and there will be a little bit more sharing about things ahead that could be of help in your journey ahead. We are living in extraordinary times. I am so happy to be connected. You're so welcome. And I'll be back in 2 weeks, in 2 Tuesdays from now. Now, I always read your comments. I've been looking forward to reading your comments. So thank you so much. Love you all so much. I look forward to see you again. Namaste. Oh, there's a question here. Is it possible to leave the live stream up for an extra hour? Yes. As a matter of fact, I'm going to leave it up under this on my channel. You have to look under live because you'll find it there. And since I'm not doing the transmission over the ice, we can record it. So it can be there under live. The transmission with the ice, we don't like to record. So this transmission, though, you can take part of under live. I have never saved it there before, but I will try to work it out. This is the first time since I'm back, so there might be some technical things. I hope I managed to save it there. So you're welcome to take part of this process again. Thank you so much.